Platchums!
Let's kick this one off. Yo, PlayStation Plus. So, in your 6-month news flash update of all the things you missed, this was one thing that even if it's not really in the news cycle anymore because it happened, like 3 months ago. So PlayStation Plus increased their prices, which is not news to anyone, but it pretty much made me not renew my subscription for the first time in, I would say, 10 years.
It's a big deal.
It is. So, where am I coming from with this, right? So, I'm going to initiate my rant.
Okay, rant mode, go.
Let me stroke this for luck.
And I have I think I have like a good counter argument prepared, or maybe not argument, but counterpoints.
Do we have the budget for a podium? We could. Have your political opponents ever shared a podium because of budget constraints? I don't.
Possibly.
I just who goes in front, who goes in the back. So, when I saw it was going up, I just was thinking I was on the premium tier, okay, which at the time I didn't think was worth it anyway. So it's now gone up to €151 for the premium tier for the year.
A lot of euro.
Yeah. So I remember when we discussed this, the PlayStation Plus problem, maybe like a year ago. I think we were talking about just the lack of support for PS1, PSP, and PS2 classics on the premium, which would be the main selling point.
Sure.
That has not improved at all.
No.
I still think it is just ridiculous that the service has been live for, a year and a half, pushing 2 years, and it's still just, it is an abysmal selection for the extra €40 a year that it was, but now it's like 151. So it's even more just kind of ludicrous. Anyway, so that was straight off the bat. Extra. Okay. Now that is the tier that I still think is probably the most bang for your buck, but €125. Now this is maybe more a personal thing, but most of the games that would interest me, I've either already played or I've bought physically. I still think it's the best selection, but I'm just like at this moment in time, it's the price that the premium used to be, essentially. So I was just kind of looking at it going, there's nothing I kind of want to play on it. And then when it came down to Essential, right, it used to be €40-50, and it's €72 for what is essentially the ability to play online, cloud storage, for your save files, and the monthly games. So I had essentially stopped playing online, bar FIFA, as we've always kind of discussed. That's my like junk food game, and if I just fancy lying down on my arse for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I can crank out 2 games online, FIFA, have a great time, or sometimes a horrendous time. But I just realized it's just not worth it. Right, the cloud storage, most of the time I plat my games, and unless it's like a really specific RPG, once I've got the plat, I don't really care about like keeping the save file anymore. Like it's not like, hit and miss. It's nice to have the security blankets, just in case,
sure.
But for the most part, it's not really a selling point. And then I realized that I hadn't actually played any of the monthly games in like a year and a half since maybe the Final Fantasy remake.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of the point I'm at, where I'm just focusing on single player games. I've kind of got out of the loop of playing FIFA, which is maybe a good thing. And I just feel like the fact that they're just charging so much more that doesn't match the rate of inflation, might I add, solely. And offering nothing new or telling people what is going to come down the pipeline that explains these drastic price increases. That's what made me jump off the boat. Now,
Sure.
I'm not saying that I'm never going to subscribe again. If it's on sale, that around that 50, 60, I might bite the bait. But for whatever reason, I seem to be just on the hill going, no, you know what? So no, it doesn't matter what I think. But I ultimately essential just for my style of game. I'm like, you know what? I can go without it.
Yeah.
Premium was already, I thought, extortionate, or didn't. It's like, why is it so much more expensive than extra when extra actually has all the value? And
Yeah.
it adds nothing. Um, so yeah, I don't know. That's just a bit of a ramble, but I just wanted to get it out there that I don't know. I just wish Sony would kind of say, like, wait, like, why are
Yeah.
you increasing it that much? Like a 40% increase
It was a big jump. Yeah.
is a big jump for the premium tier, especially. So what was your counter argument?
Well,
Yes.
to be honest, I don't disagree with anything that you said. I think maybe my approach is like a little bit different because I do scour like the extra library quite a lot for, more random games. I think my bar of entry for a game is a lot lower than yours. So like, I find a lot of interesting, cool games on there. And I do like, especially like having the option, because like say in the last year now, I've purchased 2 full price games, which were Resi 4 and Armored Core. They were the only 2 full price games I've purchased this year. Everything else was extra, sale, or essential tier. I had premium and I dropped down after I got like a few of the plats that I kind of was semi interested in. But I think the features and content that you get on premium are pretty lackluster. Like, especially with the option, that they give you where it's like, okay, update if you want to like upgrade to premium, pay like an extra €5 for the rest of your contract or whatever. Like that's to have that kind of in the back pocket, being like, okay, well, if I ever really want to play something on here, I have the option to upgrade. So I've been on extra pretty much since I dropped down from premium, and I've had PS Plus pretty much consistently since PlayStation 3 era.
I did too. Now, the only thing with premium, did you notice that it's something I forgot to mention, that they've added the movie streaming stuff?
Yeah, I haven't noticed any of that at all.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, and I saw like Across the Spider-Verse, and I'm like, okay, like that's a excellent movie, but you have to pay for that.
Okay.
Separately. Yeah. And then the catalog they have is kind of like, no offense, but I'd say half of it is like stuff you used to find in like the bargain basket, the DVD bargain basket, not exactly stuff that is like, she needs premium dude kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting idea, but I mean, movies, it's like another fucking streaming service that comes tagged on. It's like, was that really? I understand what they're trying to do, and I'm not saying like, oh, that's horrible, because at this point, to get anything on top of the money for premium is a benefit at this point.
Sure.
I'll take, like I don't know, a bag of chocolate or whatever, like at this, just anything.
Well, they've added in the PS5 streaming now. Again, that's not something that's going to benefit me at all.
Yeah, because you could just download it.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know, maybe if I think we're probably in a part of the world where that's like not super viable yet. Like, I know you can get fiber and stuff, and a lot of people have fiber. Most people have fiber where we are, but I don't know. I still don't think streaming is worth it at the minute for any latency at all.
I would rather, if I had the intend on playing like a game, I would rather just download it because if it downloads at somewhat inconsistent speed, like I think I have pretty good internet. At least once it's downloaded, it will perform consistently. But if you're constantly streaming and your internet's acting dodgy or something, it's going to affect performance. I always just prefer to download the files and have them.
Me too. Yeah.
With games, I don't know why. Like I streamed Infamous Festival of Blood
Mm,
just before I kind of like a couple of months before it expired, and just sometimes the latency
yeah.
was an issue when things were going like mad. It kind of like went down to like 4 frames a second or
Mm,
something. That's a PS3 game.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, like whatever about the movies, I just think the main selling point of premium and how they kind of advertise was this is the gateway into backwards compatibility.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I still think it's just very disappointing to see how they're handling that. And I think at this point, I don't think much is going to change.
No.
Any older games that I had an interest in playing have either been ported or I've just given up hope of
Yeah.
them kind of being made available. Like the dream I was sold was a decent sized library of PS1, PS2 games, I guess
Yeah.
PS3, just with trophy support.
Yeah.
You know, but
But like you can see why that's the case when you have games like Metal Gear Solid releasing and being part of a master collection or being sold standalone for 20 quid or whatever it is.
mhm.
Um, I think it probably isn't feasible to get licensing for a lot of the great games that we want part of that catalog. And I'd say that that's probably the issue that they ran into there. Um,
But then
just, I
I'd be like,
guess,
but why if they increase the price tenfold? Like it's
yeah.
like
Well,
there's probably more money in the table, like dicing it up and selling it off as like a port like Metal Gear instead of actually putting in the time and effort to like I'm not saying get all the PS1 back catalog, all the PS2 because that is ridiculous, but say
sure,
like everyone's top 30, 40 games, just the big hitters, at least make the attempt like come on. They're just old games and it'll make a lot of people happy. It might actually give value to the service and was the main selling point of the service. At least get the big hitters like
sure.
I can't believe like say Silent Hill isn't on it. Tomb Raider isn't on it. I
That just
mean,
came out as a remaster trilogy as well.
yeah, I saw that, but just the OG PS1 games. Um, like I was surprised to see Horrors moved back to nature on it, but again, no trophies. That was a good one. That was a good one. And
Yeah,
none of the other Resi games, only Resi
no.
One,
But
which
like where the money goes these days is like Fortnite, Warzone,
mhm.
the GTA Online. These are the games that are bringing in the money, and I don't know. I guess the kind of games of yesteryear are just not money makers, unfortunately. And
Yeah,
as
but
much as they would want to save the back catalog and preserve these great games, like the
yeah,
financial incentive isn't there for them, I suppose.
yeah, but I guess that's where the main issue I have is because you're completely right, but they sold the premium tier on the promise of that, so it was a money
Yeah,
maker just on the hope and telling people that there's going to be a range of classics, and that has
yeah,
never materialized in
no,
any
no,
meaningful way, and now they've kind of pivoted towards providing stuff like I don't know, I can imagine a Sharknado level of movies, which
yeah.
just wasn't the
They have
main
like
selling point.
the demos and stuff like try it and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. I
Eh,
I, I have
just get a
no
demo, just
interest.
release a demo. Like,
I have no interest in going to premium. And like once I feel like I've kind of gotten enough for everything that I need out of extra, I'll probably leave that too. But I don't know. At the minute, the catalog is pretty strong in extra, and I feel like there's a lot of good stuff in there still for me to go
mhm.
for. Um, So I do think extra is a great service to have. Is it worth the money? Debatable. Um,
For
I
me, with the
think,
extra, it's like I might just wait on a catalog refresh, and if I can get it slightly cheaper. But when I just saw basic up at €72, I did just kind of reconsider because I was going to be cutting down to basic or essential anyway. And I
yeah, and
just
I think
thought,
if
yeah,
I went down to if I didn't want extra, I wouldn't need basic or essential. Like yourself, I don't play online games that much anymore,
yeah.
so I don't think I'd be missing anything. So
And
it's
like this don't come cheap, man.
yeah,
I need the money for this. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, like I don't know. I just wanted to have a chat about that, just to get it off my
yeah.
chest.
No, it's a really interesting one. Like I
Four,
think,
four, 4 months after it was relevant to the, uh,
well, no, it's
Discord.
an evergreen topic. It's always relevant, as long
Mhm.
as PlayStation Plus is there. Like I like the fact that they are adding monthly games on there, so you kind of get the essential games at the start of the month, and then halfway through the month you get the
Mhm.
new extra games and stuff.
Mhm.
And like it's been pretty good. Like they've got like a really good selection of
Well,
stuff on there.
that's what was funny though, because the month that I gave it up, Callisto Protocol was on it, and Alien Isolation was added to the extra tier, and I'm like, sake, the
Yeah,
1 month, the one
1
month.
month.
I've
Yeah,
been I've been staring at it, doing nothing with it for months, and then yeah, typical. But yeah, I think that's all I've got to say on it because I feel like it's almost more interesting to pick up these topics a few months after the big news of it going up to actually see what happened with it.
yeah.
And
I was disappointed not to be like the way it kind of the time fell. I wasn't able to like capitalize much on my like subscription because I think my subscription was like ending in the middle of August or something, or of
yeah,
October or
yeah,
something. So I wasn't able to like I don't know, I wasn't able to like capitalize too much on it to
hmm
extend it for like super cheap. But yeah, I think that they do have a huge ways to go. I think I've definitely seen more people being talking about like digital preservation and things like that and the back catalogs. I would hope that like that's going to continue to be a big topic and something
hmm
that, you know, will get better with time because there's just so many great games out
yeah.
there.
Like I do think that you're right. That there's no money in those older games, but I would sort of think of it like this: that in those individual games or individual trilogies or whatever you want to do, if you separate them, yeah, there's not much money in it, but if there is enough of them to form a decent library, then that's a different thing. That if enough studios or if Sony gets in touch with enough people to build it up, then the people will come. But it's just there's not enough pieces of the puzzle yet that they
Yeah.
could even play. But I do think that long term, if they really threw a lot at it, yeah, it'll be slow to get started. But I do think over the course of time, it's like an old sourdough starter, man. You gotta let it sit in your fridge for a while and let it build up. I do think that if there is a library of 100 PS1 games and 100 PS2 games, people go, oh, now that's interesting. And I do think it would bring a lot of people onto the tier. But to get to that point, is it worth it? I don't know. Who am
But
I?
we don't want to give them any other reasons to increase the price. That's the only thing.
Oh yeah,
So this all
five
has to
PS1
happen.
games. Sorry, that's gonna be
Yeah.
€280 a year. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. It will happen, but look, we'll leave it there. Let us know your thoughts on this topic, and
It's,
if you're still subscribed or what do you think, or do you like Sony's collection of movies? What's your favorite one? What?
I have to even look at this feature. I didn't even
Yeah,
see
have
it.
a cheeky look through the catalog. You need to
I'll have
download.
to.
You need to download the app. It's under the media section. See if you see anything to watch tonight.
Yeah, I think I already pay for like 3 subscription services, so or 4 or something. So I don't think I need another one, but
Yeah, no, no. Why not?
maybe
Maybe.
20,
We'll see.
wait, another 10 or a month or something.
Yeah, again, Look what I'm spending my money on, man.
Nice,
It
nice.
could be worse. I don't know why I keep touching it. I should
Oh, it's
probably put
nice.
up a
I'd touch
statue.
it if I was there as well.
Okay, that I'm definitely not going to edit that one out of context.
Oh, it's
Probably put
nice.
up a
I'd touch
statue.
it if I was there as well.
Okay.
Nice,
It
nice.
could